You've probably heard the term drive-by shooting, right? Maybe in movies or on the news. But in Arizona, it's not just a phrase, it's a specific, very serious crime defined by statute ARS 13-1209. And the consequences? They're absolutely life-altering. So today, we're going to break down exactly what this law is all about.
Okay, before we get into it, we have to put this right up front. This information is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for legal advice from an experienced Arizona criminal defense attorney. If you are facing criminal charges under Arizona law, you should speak with an experienced Arizona criminal defense lawyer right away.
So here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with what a drive-by actually is. Then we'll cover what it takes for a conviction, who can get charged, it might surprise you, the serious consequences, and finally, some crucial facts and timelines. Let's get into it.
All right, Section 1. So what exactly is a drive-by? Let's get right into the legal definition under ARS 13-1209. Okay, so the law itself, ARS 13-1209, is super specific. It all boils down to this. A drive-by shooting is when someone intentionally shoots a gun from inside a motor vehicle. But that's not all. The target is key. It has to be aimed at a person, another car that has people in it, or a building or structure that's occupied.
So what really separates this from other firearm crimes? It's the car. Plain and simple. I mean, firing a gun is obviously a huge deal no matter what. But the moment you do it from inside a vehicle, you've just entered a whole new legal ballpark in Arizona. That one fact, the car, changes everything and unlocks a whole different level of penalties. So you might be thinking, okay, but what if they miss? What if nobody actually gets hurt? That's a great question. Does the outcome matter? And the answer is a big, fat no. The charge doesn't change one bit. See, in Arizona, the law isn't punishing the result. It's punishing the act. It's about the incredible danger you create just by firing a gun from a car. So even if, by some miracle, nobody gets hurt, the full weight of the law can still come down on you. Okay, so if the outcome isn't the point, what does a prosecutor have to prove to get a conviction? It really boils down to two key things. Here they are. And listen, the prosecution has to prove both of these beyond a reasonable doubt. First, they have to show you intentionally, and that's the key word, intentionally, fired a weapon from a vehicle. Second, they have to prove that weapon was fired at a person, an occupied car, or an occupied building. It's a two-part test, and they have to nail both. All right, let's move on, and I really want you to pay close attention here because this is where a lot of people get into serious trouble. We're talking about accomplice liability. It's not just about the shooter. So let's ask the question directly. What if you were just in the car, you didn't pull the trigger? Can you still be charged with a drive-by shooting? The answer is, without a doubt, yes. You absolutely can. Arizona law on this is super broad. Look, if you helped in any way, I'm talking about driving the car, helping plan it, even just hyping up the shooter, if you supplied the gun, pointed out who to shoot at, or helped them get away, you can be on the hook for the exact same Class 2 felony. The exact same charge. Okay, so we've established how serious this is. Now let's talk about the consequences. And trust me, they are severe. Let's look at the penalties. Right off the bat, a drive-by shooting is a Class 2 dangerous felony. Now that word dangerous isn't just there for effect. It's a legal label, a specific classification that means one thing. The sentencing is going to be mandatory, and it is going to be harsh. So let's look at the numbers. We're talking a Class 2 dangerous felony. The prison time? Anywhere from 7 to 21 years. But here's the kicker. Look at that last column. Probation? Not available. It's not even on the table. If you're convicted, you are going to prison. Period. Let that sink in for a second. A minimum of 7 years behind bars. It could be as high as 21. That tells you everything you need to know about how seriously Arizona takes this crime. And it's not just prison time. Oh no. On top of that, you're looking at a mandatory driver's license revocation. We're talking losing your license for at least 1 year and maybe up to 5. That's a huge deal. But wait, there's more. The car itself, the one used in the crime, it can be permanently taken by the state, forfeited, gone. And it doesn't even matter whose name is on the title. If that car was used, the state can seize it. Okay, we're almost there. Let's wrap up with a couple more crucial details. We'll look a little closer at what dangerous offense really means and the clock that prosecutors are up against. So we've used this term dangerous offense a few times. What does it actually mean? Well, it's pretty straightforward. It's any crime that involves a deadly weapon and creates a serious risk of someone getting killed or badly hurt. A drive-by shooting fits that description perfectly, right? That's exactly why it automatically gets that dangerous label and why the sentences are so tough. Okay, and what about the timeline? There's a legal deadline for prosecutors to bring a case. It's called the statute of limitations. For a drive-by shooting in Arizona, that deadline is 7 years. So what does that mean? It means prosecutors have up to 7 years from the day the crime allegedly happened to file charges. Once that 7-year clock runs out, that's usually it. The window of opportunity closes. All right, let's wrap this all up with the key takeaways. What do you absolutely need to remember? First, the definition. It's shooting from a car at a specific target. Second, it's always a dangerous offense. Third, the penalties are huge. We're talking mandatory prison from 7 to 21 years, no chance of probation, plus losing your license and your car. And finally, and this is so important, it's not just the shooter. Anyone who helps can face the exact same consequences. So I'll leave you with this final thought. When you think about everything we've talked about, the guaranteed prison time, losing your car, your license, and knowing that just being in the wrong place at the wrong time could land you in the same boat as the shooter, what is the absolute most critical first step anyone should take if they're facing allegations like these? It really puts the stakes into perspective, doesn't it?